Hi there, so out for a morning stroll in the beautiful refreshing rain, and I thought I'd make a video at the same time to share a tip that I use on routine setting and changing and breaking a habit or a pattern. It's worked really well for me, and it turns something that sounds quite big and scary into something that's quite logical and processy, because that's the way my mind works. A couple of years ago I was doing some research for a presentation, and I stumbled across a statistic from the world of men's tennis that really blew me away. It was that since 1991, every man who's ended the year as world number one has won between 53 and 56% of the points they play in that given year. And there's two things that blew me away. The fact that everyone's so consistent, everyone's always in that data range. And secondly, they're losing almost as many points as they're winning, yet they're ending the season achieving their overall goal. Now obviously they play in a lot of points through a season, but it's still quite a big ratio in terms of points won and lost. When I looked at some of the players individually, they spoke around a concept of key points, big points, that you can't put the same mental and physical energy into every point. Something will give, something will crack. So you have to identify the points that are must win, and then put a lot of your physical and mental energy into those moments. And I thought the same is true for routine. Goals sound quite big sometimes. Giving up smoking, getting fit, exercising more, changing a diet, whatever it might be, they sound quite big. But actually when we start looking at the routine and pattern that sits underneath, and therefore what we have to do to break it, it becomes a lot more manageable. I'll give you an example. Recently a friend and myself challenged each other to give up something we do every day for Lent, and my challenge was to give up hot drinks. I quite like this because there's a physical and mental element to it. Physical, the need for caffeine, but I wasn't born with that need, so in theory I can take the need out because I put it back in. And the mental challenge of the routine that goes alongside it. So the first step was to identify the key points. So for me, first thing in the morning, have a coffee. Throughout the day at work, probably 4 or 5 in the round with the team. And straight away, the big task of removing hot drinks became quite manageable. Okay, it's 4 or 5 key points in a day. Second, then to create a new strategy for each of those key moments. So what can I do in the morning instead of putting on the kettle? Do I go for a walk? Do I go for a run? What is my routine going to become that I don't need the hot drink or feel the need for the hot drink? In work, share it with the team, take me out of the rounds, and drink more water. A lot of it becomes then strategic and processy. And I found that actually my friend didn't manage to complete their challenge, which is fine, because it certainly wasn't a competition. But it certainly helped me to take a big goal and chunk it down and make it into something that's more bite-sized, realistic and process-driven, and something that I can then choose to put my physical and mental energy into at the right times, because it's just too much. Taking on a big goal or big challenge sounds too scary, it feels too big. That's why a lot of times we fall off the wagon. Diets always start on a Monday. Within 2 weeks you're normally making yourself the same promise to start the following Monday. So my tip will be, write down, and you must write it down. It looks better, it's much more effective when you write it down and actually look at it on paper. Write down what your current pattern or habit or strategy or routine is that's underneath the thing you're doing. Identify the big points, the key ones that you think, if I can win these ones, I'm more likely to break the back of it and create a new pattern. And then for each of those key points, think of the strategies that you can do in those moments, in that very small period of time, to do something different apart from the routine you're set into. Good luck with it. I hope it works. Please feel free to contact me for any more information or any more tips or guidance, and I'll catch up with you soon. Thank you.